Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel and thanks for joining me in another video from Live Road. Today I'd like to say a few words about another model of Vibram FiveFingers Minimalist shoes, and this will be about Trek Ascent Insulated. Now this is my third pair overall, and I also own ELX and KSO Evo models, but this one I've been using daily for almost 6 months now. And in case you want to check out my first video about Vibrams and my first impressions about them and this kind of footwear, the link will be in the description. Trek Ascent Insulated are advertised by the producer as shoes for the cooler weather, but do not make a mistake and misread that for a winter shoe. It's definitely not a winter shoe, and that is for 2 reasons, which I will explain at the end of this video. So let's start from the positive side. They are madly comfortable, and without a bit of exaggeration I can say these are the most snug and pleasant shoes I've worn in my entire life. Although most FiveFingers models give you the impression of wrapping perfectly around your feet anyway, this version does the best job so far. Apart from the comfort, they are very light, which you don't really expect from most shoes designed for the colder seasons. One shoe in size 43 European weighs around 220 grams, while size 39 will drop down to 175 grams, and trust me, you can barely feel the weight on your feet. Due to them being a bit thicker both in the sole and in the upper material, some of you may doubt if they are equally flexible as the other models, right? Well, naturally they are just slightly less, but it's a truly insignificant difference. I can still easily curl my toes and I can feel my foot moving naturally against the ground just as well as in the other models. And personally, I even prefer the slightly thicker sole for a bit more protection and cushion. Another amazing feature is the grip that those shoes provide. I've been testing them multiple times in a rocky, uneven terrain, and not once did I have a problem of slipping. Even on a slightly wet surface, they guarantee a solid, confident step. They will make an excellent running or trekking shoe for those who prefer more challenging environment. Last but not least, let's not forget about the design and the overall look. If you already overcame the barrier of 5 separate toes, which I know might be a huge issue for some people, then you are up for a treat, because in my opinion, Trek Ascent Insulated look like a really cool trekking shoe. There are 2 color versions, black and brown, and in case of women's models there are some purple add-ons including the shoelaces. Okay, so let's move back to the reasons why Trek Ascent Insulated shouldn't be treated as winter shoes. So first, they are not warm enough. Although the inside of the shoe has been lined with wool, the thickness of that layer isn't provided enough insulation in my opinion. I'm not able to say objectively what is the limit of temperature, as we all experience it differently, but in my case I was able to comfortably use them while outdoors. There was between 0 and -5 Celsius, plus quite strong winds. So I would say that any temperature below might start being too cold for these shoes, but again, it all depends on your personal threshold. Second reason is the fact that they are not waterproof, and since winter is a rather wet season, that completely disqualifies this model from being winter friendly. Although the sole is quite thick and you can be sure no water will penetrate it straight from below, the upper material will give in quickly. The most exposed part is the space between your toes, and it doesn't even take hard rain to get your feet wet inside. I found myself walking just on wet pavement after the rain and feeling moisture between my toes just after a few minutes. So these are the only 2 drawbacks I felt are worth mentioning, but on the other hand, Trek Ascent Insulated are not advertised as winter or waterproof footwear, so technically we can't expect that from them. As the very last thing, I wanted to turn your attention to size of this particular model. On the official Vibram website there is an information that you should go up 1 size from your regular 5-finger size. In my case that is not true, as I wear all my Vibram shoes in size 44, Trek Ascent Insulated included, and I'm sure that taking this advice would be not a good idea. So be very careful and try them on yourself before buying, if you have that possibility, of course. That's pretty much all I wanted to share with you regarding the Vibram Trek Ascent Insulated. In general, I definitely recommend this model and this type of footwear, as it brings back the possibility of natural movement for your feet and strengthens them in the process. Stay tuned for more reviews of FiveFingers shoes, as I have 2 more coming up pretty soon, and those will be for the KSO Evo and CVT Hemp. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you and take care.